and welcome to Tourism Today. I'm your host, John Cooper. As you can tell behind me, it's winter in the valley, and one of the things people love to do at this time of year is to come to our beloved ski resort at White Pass up in the Cascade Mountains. Joining me today is one of my favorite people in the community, Kathleen Goyette, who's the marketing director for White Pass Ski Area. Welcome to the show,
Thanks
Kathleen.
so much for having me, John. It's such a pleasure to be here and to meet with you up at the mountain. And it looks like you got a better spot than me. You're at the top.
Well, the snow season is well underway. We get a little bit here in the valley, and you're telling us it's really coming down up there.
It's snowing
how's
today.
the season been going this year? And tell the viewers a little bit about how you've responded to COVID with your operations.
You know, what a challenge for everyone and every aspect of society, really. Unbelievably, skiing has absolutely surged during the pandemic. We're so fortunate to have the governor work with the industry and allow us to run. We've put a lot of safety protocols in place, a lot of staff training, a lot of public training. But what that has converged to do is just set us up for what looks to be a record season in terms of visitorship. I think people just got so tired of being cooped up in their homes that if they can have an opportunity to recreate outdoors, they're definitely making the most of it. So we are busy.
Well, that's good to hear. And, when you look at tourism overall, there's all kinds of people who travel for different activities. What kind of changes has the industry seen in the ski-related tourism, not just locals, but people coming from different areas? Are you seeing people coming from further away, or what are you experiencing up there?
A bit of both, honestly. So in terms of the state or the Pacific Northwest, each ski area did make some of their own capacity rules, which we agreed to do in order to keep everyone safe. But with those capacity limits, some of the bigger resorts that are closer to major metro areas clearly sell out before those of us who are a bit off the beaten path. So what that's done is pushed a lot of regional visitorship. So we always see some people out of Portland, for instance, but we're seeing visits even out of Boise, Spokane. Of course, we do well out of Seattle anyway, but maybe some increases there as well. So in terms of regional traffic, it's definitely increased, particularly midweek. We see so much midweek travel because folks are working remotely, kids are learning remotely. So for us, it's been pretty remarkable in terms of spreading our visits, which might normally be just Friday, Saturday, Sunday. We are busy 7 days a week now. And that's been good for everybody, not just us, but all the services that support us, surrounding us in terms of lodging, restaurants. We all on the Highway 12 corridor here between Yakima and Packwood have been very busy this year. The other thing that I find interesting is just walking the parking lot. A lot of people have hit the road. So our RV lot is full with people from all over the country. There have been some dry spells in some areas. So we see cars from last weekend I saw Michigan and Nevada and New York, and people are on the road looking to ski, and we're just fortunate to be able to host them this year.
Wow, that's certainly very encouraging when we think about wintertime tourism, because it can be a slow season, especially midweek. So I'm really glad to hear you're successful, and we're seeing those visitors, especially coming from areas to the east and outside of our normal catchment area for winter. What are some of the other unintended consequences that have resulted from the pandemic and with this new normal? And what are you specifically doing to address some of the requirements?
The number one thing we did was we have required folks to purchase in advance. That's really changed the ski patterns for people. There's no more whether folks like it or not, for us, it's an unintended positive consequence is that people book in advance and they show up. They don't bail last minute if the weather looks marginal. So for us, that's been strong. We had to do that because with a capacity limit on the hill, we just can't, let people walk up. So definitely the planning ahead, is interesting to look at for the future. You know, we've certainly seen it spread our visits across a 7-day period rather than the more traditional heavy 3 days per week. So that's something we're looking at and looking at for the future. We're not sure what we're going to do yet. So stay tuned. I'm sure we'll be working hard through the spring and summer as we plan for next season. You know, it's been stunning the amount of recreational visitors who are not skiers who have come to the mountains this year. So we've noticed our tubing operation has, it's now a 4-day per week operation, used to be only weekends. And we find ourselves selling out on our tubing hill as well. The growth in snowshoeing has been exponential. We've been purchasing new snowshoes to rent because we just have so many new visitors who haven't been taking advantage of winter recreation before. And snowshoeing's been a great entry level thing for folks to get comfortable with. We've been able to track our visitors, which has been great. They might enter through snowshoeing or tubing. And next thing you know, they're buying a beginner package and learning to ski or snowboard. So it's been really a great time for our industry in terms of just exposing new people to the sport and getting them to recreate year round.
Yeah, and you kind of led into my next question. You know, besides a ski destination, you have a number of other services, the tubing, you've also got the cross country, and you had mentioned to me today that you've got some big plans in the future for the Nordic area. So tell folks about the things besides the hill that are.
Yeah, we've been working with the Forest Service for the past 8 years on a plan for expanding our Nordic Center. And this year is really proving that we need it with the increased visitorship, but we'll plan to add another 10 kilometers of trail. We currently run 18 kilometers. Our team just does such a fantastic job. So visitorship continues to increase, and their meticulous grooming, which if you're a cross-country skier or a skate skier, that's a key. And we've really been recognized for that in the industry, and to see so many more visitors looking for that really pristine, meticulous grooming. So we're excited to be able to provide another 10K. The guys will start working on those trails in the spring. And we expect to have, I'm not sure if we'll get all 10 over the summer, but it looks like a good 7 out of 10. And long-term plans include a lodge. We actually, at the base of the Nordic Center right now, if you've been up, we'll see a couple of yurts. We're looking for a permanent building and probably move one of the yurts up top, where it's going to provide just stunning views east back towards Yakima and of west towards Mount Rainier. So it's going to be a great place to come visit, and something that's accessible to people who just want to snowshoe and not ski. So I think it'll really increase the profile of White Pass in terms of just a great winter activity place, independent of how great the alpine skiing is.
Excellent. Well, folks, if you're looking for a great place to get out and enjoy nature and do it safely in these conditions, as Kathleen's indicated, it's a good time to get up and head out towards the mountains at White Pass. And thank you again, Kathleen, for joining us today and telling us about all the wonderful things that you and your crew are doing, and look forward to all the great success in the future.
We really appreciate the partnership with Yakima Valley Tourism. We just thank you for all that you do to help us get the word out. So thanks so much for having us.
Absolutely. And maybe we'll have you on again, and or actually come and film on location.
Oh, please do.
All right. Well, thank you everybody for joining us today, and have a great time. Bye now.